Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mike here. Gonna do a video on this Ford 1910 tractor that I bought back in November. It's we're here in New York. It's January 2025. As you can see, there's snowing out a little bit here on Long Island. It's been cold the last couple of weeks, and I got my kerosene heater going. But let me just get into this. So I bought this tractor um, from a guy that was local. I kept searching on Facebook Marketplace. I ended up paying $6,500 for this tractor. It came with a bucket and a backhoe, which I was I thought it was a good deal. It's Ford 1910. They were produced from 19. I really didn't know this at the time, but I did my research. They were only produced from 1983 to 1986, so there weren't very many models produced. Um, so getting into that, parts, trying to find parts for this thing. Um, if you can find the parts, a lot of parts are discontinued. Some parts are interchangeable with the other models. Um, if you buy this tractor, you're going to end up calling and you're going to end up searching through junkyards. There's tractor junkyards, but I just want to give a shout out to Messick's. Uh, they are people I've been using just recently for ordering parts for this tractor. Uh, they do have some parts, and if they can't get them, they can kind of steer you in the right direction. All right, so let's get into this. So I bought this tractor for I'll show you here. So I bought this tractor. It's taken apart now because we're building a we're rebuilding the head and the cylinders. So, but before that, let me get into it. I paid $6,500 for this tractor. Wheels are dry rotted. I knew it was going to need new wheels, but other than that, though, it was fine. It was hard to start. So I'm jumping all over the place. Anyway, so I paid $6,500 for this tractor, right? Came with, let me look out the window here. I had to take also, there's the top there, but it came with the backhoe and the bucket. That's a Bradco 8MD. First thing I did was I rebuilt the cylinders. That was another task when you really don't know how to rebuild cylinders. So there was a lot of Googling going on and checking out on videos and threads and all this stuff. So anyway, $6,500 didn't seem like such a bad deal, seeing that I'm getting all this stuff with it. Um, so what we did was, let me get into this here. We had taken off the cylinder head here. Taken off the cylinder head. It had when we checked it out, it was running, and we opened up the oil, and it was spitting compression out of the oil. It was also the radiator. It was bubbling out of the radiator, and it was also low on coolant. So I had a feeling that it was the head gasket. So what we ended up deciding to do was we pulled the head off it. Then replaced the gasket, and lo and behold, the head was warped. The gasket was blown. So I looked at the head. The head is actually an N840 head, which I brought it to a machine shop. The guy's got it right now. He's gonna looks like he's gonna mill it down, but it looked like in the in the head part there was like a little crack between the intake and the exhaust. So man, I'm hoping he can fix that, because they do what do they do? It's stitching or whatever. I'm hoping he could stitch that, because I tried to find a head, and if you can find it, they have refurbished ones. They're $1,500. and it ranged anywhere from $1,300 to $1,500 with a $250 core. I may end up, if I have to buy one, I may end up buying one and just holding onto the head. But so to take this head off really wasn't hard. I mean, it's only a 3-cylinder. It has the 32 horsepower Shibaura engine. Let me show you here. So what we did was we took the head off. Cylinders don't look that bad. I mean, you know, but what we decided to do was we decided while it was off, we're gonna do a piston and cylinder. We ordered the sleeves and the pistons with the rings and all that stuff. It was 12. I think from Messick's. It was like almost $1,300 shipped. So most cylinder heads have the rebuild and everything. You know, my son's a diesel mechanic, and he said that yeah, you know, while we have it off, let's do that. The cylinders, the sleeves, they come right out. He said if we don't, you never know. He says he's seen that there could be little tiny pinholes in the cylinder, and the only reason why we're doing that is because there was compression blowing out of the oil. So to take this thing off wasn't really that bad, but now we have to get take the oil pan off. This is where I'm going to get into it. There's not many videos on how to do this. To get the oil pan off, first you have to drop. There's a bracket here that holds the loader on the front. That bracket bolts onto here, and it's like a cross member. It goes along the bottom. Make sure you drop that first, because what I ended up doing was I ended up not dropping that. And there's actually see the drive shaft straight across? The drive shaft, I don't know if you can see, the drive shaft is hooked onto the back of the transmission, and it goes to the front here. And what I did was I didn't drop that, and when I dropped the front end, because you have to drop the front end because you have this the shaft right here, and the shaft will get in the way from your oil pan here, from dropping the oil pan to get the sleeves out. So when I drop that, you have to drop that with there's 4 bolts there. You have to drop that and slide it forward. So what I did was I dropped it and slid it forward with the cross member there. It puts stress on the actual drive shaft, and when I dropped that, I cracked. There's actually a coupling right here. You can see that the coupling. This is the front of the drive shaft for the front end. There's seals right here, but I cracked this. Okay. Remember what I said before about parts are hard to find? This part right here is $138 from Messick's. There was some old threads and old ads about them being $40 used, so it snapped. So I kind of, even though it was $138, I kind of got away a little bit easy, because there's not many videos on how to actually do this, to drop this drive shaft and to do it correctly. I searched for videos. I couldn't find any videos for the Ford 1910. So I wish I would have started this video a little bit, sooner while I was dropping this whole thing. But I figure you guys could learn from me. So what you have to do really is you have to drop that first. You have to take those bolts out first, right? If you're going to drop the front end, you need to drop the front end. You need to jack the front end up only enough to get those pins. It sits on pins. See that? And you need to drop that only enough to actually get that to drop that, and then you have to roll it forward. I had to take off the steering linkage in the front, and I used a pickle fork for that. And this is another thing. Don't damage that. They don't even make these parts. So if you snap that, I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to have to search junkyards, search all this stuff. So don't snap those. What else? So drop that whole transmission there. The fluid came pouring out of that. I didn't really think. And the fluid was actually all white. So that was the transmission fluid, the gear oil, you know, the gearbox. And that was about, I want to say about 7 gallons. 7 gallons of fluid spilled all over the place. My bucket back there wasn't enough to hold it. Any of you guys know, if you ever change the oil on diesel motors and that kind of stuff, they really hold a lot of fluid. So I didn't really think. But so waiting on the head to come back. Drive shaft is out. Gonna drop the oil pan so that way we can get to the we can pull the pistons and the sleeves. Looks like, I'm gonna see how hard they come out, but it looks like from this steel, I may make some sort of puller. Let me get over here. Sorry about the garage; it's messy here. Got stuff all over the place. I bought this threaded rod. I'm gonna use that to make some sort of puller. See if I can get those sleeves out. I really don't know how hard they are going to be to get out. It doesn't look like this motor's ever been taken apart. The head's never been off. We have my injectors. Sorry about the mess here. When I bought this tractor, the guy gave me a whole bunch of parts, extra parts. Anyway, the valve cover, hoses, which I'm going to have to buy new. The water pump, which he gave me a new one. Water pump is still good. I'm going to end up just replacing it because I have it. This is the thermostat housing for the on the motor. Again, can't find this part. So you can see how like pitted it is. When I got it, there was all water in the radiator because it was draining out, and we have my the intake, the exhaust manifold, all this stuff. But I'm just learning how to do all this stuff, and it's all going to be trial and error. I will keep you guys updated, but for $6,500, it didn't seem like a bad price, seeing that it came with all that stuff. But parts are very hard to find, if you can find them at all. So keep that in mind when buying a tractor. You may always want to look around and see if the parts are readily available for these tractors. And if not, like, consider maybe buying something else, or, you know, whatever. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to keep you guys uploaded. This is my first video. This, from the amount of work you see, this probably should have been my 3rd or 4th video. You know, yanking this whole thing apart from the push rods, you know, rockers, my injectors, which try to find those injectors. You can't. And they were actually hard to get out. I don't know if there's even, some of them say that there's some gaskets for them. I can't find anything of that. But I ended up breaking the threads on that one. Not breaking it, but I mean taking it off, and I'll end up taking them apart, maybe soaking them or something. Maybe an ultrasonic cleaner or something like that. But I'll keep you guys updated. Oh, here's another one. The bucket. You see that? And I'm having a hard time. This is a Bradco bucket. I'm having a hard time finding one that bolts up. So I got steel. What I may end up doing is I may end up welding a plate on the back. Kind of get me for what I need to do. Really don't need to do crazy. And it's not like I'm not using this for a business. It's going to be for my personal use. But anyway, thanks for watching. I know this is a long video, and I'll keep you guys updated on my work. My son's going to be coming over, and we're going to be working on this over the winter. So I'm hoping by next week I find out what's going on with the head, and if I have to buy a new one and drop more money into this thing. But looks like I paid $6,500, 65, 75, 85. Looks like I'm into this thing for about $2,000 so far. Hopefully with the head, it's not going to be a lot. So, all right. Thanks for watching. And any questions, maybe give me a like. Talk to you later. Bye.